I was given strange rules for my job. I think I've doomed the world by breaking one. I may not be alive for long. I need to get this off my chest. Just 2 months ago, I was living of my mom's money. Humiliating, right? So when I saw a random office job, I immediately scheduled an interview for the next day over the phone. When I arrived, it seemed perfectly normal, until the first question. Are you able to follow rules without questioning why they exist? Okay, what? I was suspicious now. Was something sketchy going on here? Am I about to be involved in something illegal? I was honestly gonna leave, but the $500K a year made me abandon all morals and try to get the job regardless. Maybe they just have strict policies, I told myself. Can you use Excel? Of course. All right, read this, she said, sliding over a piece of paper. Here's what it said: rules must agree to follow to be hired. 1. Do not look at any of your coworkers if they wave at you while their back is turned to you. You must look away immediately. If they block the entrance to your office, alert the supervisor. If not, go into your office without looking at them and do your work as normal. 2. Do not look at your office roof if the lights in the hallway leading to the office are red. 3. If you are tapped 3 times on your shoulder in your office, then stand up and turn to look behind you. If a man without a face is there, do not speak. You may react with your body, but any noise from your mouth will result in him taking your soul. He may attempt to snatch your soul regardless, but if you follow the steps properly, simply close your eyes until the pain in your chest is gone. Then open them. Resume your work. Note, after the taps on your shoulder, you have 15 seconds to face the man. 4. Do not go to the basement floor. Attempting to do so will result in immediate termination. What the hell is this? I said, breaking all professional tone. It doesn't happen often, trust me. You'll be fine if you follow the rules, she said. Is this a joke? I said. No, and I understand if you do not take the position. I could tell it was real, just from her face, completely serious and a little sad. I didn't know what to think. Was she insane? I could tell she wasn't lying. Is she just schizophrenic? But I had nothing to lose. Really, I didn't. I didn't care too much if something took my soul, really. My life was not worth more than $500K a year. Living in the world's tiniest apartment and failing all my classes with daily calls from my mom berating me for still being jobless. I took the job, but before leaving, she made me type the rules on my phone and gave me over 10 copies of the rules on paper. Please be careful, she said, sounding guilty. Also, no discussing this with anyone outside work. You may with your coworkers, but do not expect them to respond. Day 1, I come in and there is nothing out of the ordinary. Hallway lights are white, no one waving while turned away, and obviously I wouldn't try going to the basement floor. I was, however, terrified of the man without a face thing. I kept looking back the entire day. After the day was over, I really started thinking maybe she was crazy. Maybe it was a prank. A test to see how far I would go for the job. I tried talking to a coworker about this. They mumbled something about being careful while looking at me with pity. Actually, I soon noticed everyone looking at me with that same look. I guess she warned me they wouldn't talk about it. Day 6, nothing happened until day 6. When I came into the building, there he was, a coworker who I'd only seen a handful of times, just standing there, back turned to me. Then they waved. After a second, I snapped my head down, then backwards. My breathing was heavy. Surely it was a prank. Right. After a second, I went into my office without looking over there. That's all that happened the rest of the day. Expect I was much more paranoid, especially about that faceless man. I never talked to that coworker again. I was too scared. Day 17, the red lights, I froze again. I had to make it through the entire 8 hours without looking up. I felt an urge to look up, not curiosity, something else. It was pulling me forcefully and I could feel it growing stronger. I almost gave in, just seeing if this was a test or a prank or something. Something that made the slightest bit of sense. I didn't. I was too scared. I sprinted out at a speed I didn't even know I could go the second my time was up. Day 29, the first time it happened. I was working normally, with no occurrences since day 17. Tap, tap, tap. I froze for I don't know how long, but under 15 seconds since I'm still here. I had been preparing for almost a month. Clearly, I wasn't prepared. When I remembered, I immediately stood up and looked at him. I didn't make a sound, not from my mouth at least. My heart was beating so hard it hurt my chest. Wait, my chest. It hurt too much. Oh no, I closed my eyes. I was shaking so bad I almost fell. The pain wasn't too bad, or maybe it was just the least of my worries then. The pain stopped. I opened my eyes and there was no one there. I sat back down and just stared at the screen for 30 minutes. Then I resumed my work. Every time something happened, I wanted to quit. But then at home, I saw everything the money had done. My apartment was huge. A car I always dreamed of, which they gave me for free after a few days to make sure I didn't quit. Calls from my mom saying how proud of me she was. Food from expensive restaurants, and so much more. I didn't want to leave. Somewhere in month 2, I heard a call between my interviewer and someone else. I could only hear the lady who interviewed me. You know, we have to do this. Look, I know it's bad, but it's the only way to keep them here. All right, sure, maybe we put these people through trauma and often get them killed. I know it's wrong, but it's what we have to do to make sure those things don't run wild. Well, that's your choice. Just don't tell anyone. Please, the call hung up. I understood what was happening then. I was a guard keeping those things here. If I didn't, they would presumably escape or something. I didn't know how to feel. What could I do with that information anyways? Should I have felt happy I was keeping the world safe or what? I just went to work. They kept getting more often. In month 2, they appeared almost every day. And I kept getting closer to slipping up. One day on my computer screen, something showed. When I opened it, a message appeared. It was a lie. That call was fabricated to make you believe you're working for a noble cause. They are using you. They wait for you to slip up and you will then join their ranks. They are raising an army. There is one way to stop this. Go to the basement floor and open the metal door. You must first get the key card of the person who hired you. Then put it into the open slot below the buttons and proceed to the basement. After you have done this, come back and we will discuss step 2. Then my computer returned to normal. What should I do? Who was this person? Are they telling the truth? But I couldn't just sit by. My life was great, but every day I fell into a greater depression. I was not sure of why I was doing this. Why I was risking my life for something I wasn't even enjoying due to everything I went through. I buried those thoughts and told myself I was happy and that I didn't care if something happened. Just as I told you, I thought and thought. It didn't make sense. How would working there keep those things there? And why didn't they want me in the basement? I knew that I was right. I knew what I had to do. After 3 days of planning, I finally snuck into her office room and found her keycard. I walked out after making sure no one was there. She would know soon enough. I needed to go. I found an empty elevator and put the card in the slot. A beep. Then I clicked it with my hands shaking. I made it down there and I saw the door. Do not open written across it. Another rule. I yanked the door open. Nothing inside. All right, now I needed to wait for that message on my computer saying what I need to do next. I returned up quickly and put the keycard back before she got back from her break. I had time now. I went back, but nothing on my computer. Maybe tomorrow, I thought. In the middle of the night when I was sleeping, there was a massive boom. Everything shook. Everyone was awake. I went outside. The area where the job building once stood, destroyed by a massive explosion. 80 deaths. No one was found inside, however. It's been 2 days since that. There has barely been time for the news to document this, as now 400 people in my town have died, all in gruesome ways. But their chest is always intact, and always has 3 claw marks on it, big ones covering most of it. Today my newspaper was blank. Expect for one thing. Thanks was written across it with blood followed by 3 claw marks.